Pittsburgh Penguins hockey is brought to you by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers, home of the minivan store. By the people at Mellon Bank, you are why we do our very best. By Gillette Sensor and the new Gillette Series. Gillette, the best a man can get. By the Discover card. It pays to discover, the card that pays you back. By Coors Light. It's aged ice cold for that pure taste of the Rockies. Reach for the silver bullet, the right beer now. By Ladbroke Racing. Get up and go to the Meadows or one of the Ladbroke's off-track locations. By Diet Pepsi with a 100% uh-huh. You got the right one, baby. Uh-huh. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians.
Referee Paul Stewart just about set to drop the puck for the opening faceoff. Darcy Wakaluk in goal for the Dallas Stars. Ken Reagan gets the call in net for the Penguins.
And Ronnie Francis returns for the Penguins at center ice after missing a game with a flu. Joey Mullen and Jaromir Jagr on either side, and the Samuelson boys are back on the defensive side for the Penguins. Ulf and Shell, and from the faceoff, it's deflected to the Penguins in and offside. For the Dallas Stars, they've got Dean Evison out here to start the game with Russ Courtnall and Mike McPhee. And Hatcher will play one side of the fence and Paul Cavallini the other. Here are the goaltenders.
Wakaluk with that save percentage, that's 5th in the National Hockey League. And as I mentioned earlier, he has already won more games this year than he did all last. And for the Penguins, Kenny Reagan, 18 victories on the season, but been much better goaltender at home. 12-3-4 here at the Civic Arena.
And Ulf Samuelson after the face-off, whacked it on the center. Cavallini gets the puck, though, and he wheels it into the Penguins in, and Jagr will lift it back to Ulf Samuelson. Headman pass intended for Joey Mullen, intercepted by Hatcher. And the Stars again just poke it into the Penguin zone. Pittsburgh clears. Jagr's cross-ring pass over to left winger Joey Mullen. He overskated it. The Stars come back. Two Penguins are trapped, and look out here. Gordon on the right wing with that great speed pulls up. Ulf Samuelson has an angle on him, and Poke checks it away. Nice defensive play by Ulf Samuelson. He denied Gordon any space at all. Wrists it up to the Stars in, and it's Wakaluk playing the puck to the far corner. Jagr got a piece of it. He put it behind the net to Joe Mullen of the Penguins. Mullen centers it. Here's Jagr in front. He can't bang it in. Lemieux for their first trip on the ice comes out for the Penguins. Gordon was hit on the play by Mike Ramsey, but the play is going to be whistled down here. It's going to be an offside call against the Penguins at the Dallas line, and Lemieux hits the ice for the first time. And he'll be out with Kevin Stevens and Rick Tocchet. This was the most feared line in the NHL last year when they had it going. I'll tell you something very interesting. Yesterday at practice with Lemieux, and they anticipated his return stand. The boys got together, and I won't say who the culprit was. They gave jerseys out. They do for line matchups, and they gave Kevin Stevens a blue jersey. And of course, that was not the jersey color that Lemieux had. Here's Lemieux into the Stars in, trying to put it in front. Stevens runs right into the net and dislodges that. But anyway, to complete the story, Stevens will get himself back up. He was led to believe he might not be on that line. They were pulling his leg a little bit, and he said, I can play with anybody. I can play on any line. But the boys had set him up. So now an interference call coming up against Dallas.
He'd give 10% of that new contract to stay on Lemieux's line. And this is something that Kevin really needs to do, is charge the net. At the very least, he's going to strike fear into the hearts of a goaltender and maybe set up a power play, which is exactly what has happened here. Broughton gets the call, and we are seeing so many more interference calls since the edict came down. I heard you and Paul talking about it. Mike, I looked at the Philadelphia-Dallas game last night. There were 4 interference and 3 holding calls in that game, and that's a direct result of a league edict, I think.
Well, Murphy and Lemieux will play out here. Francis will take over the point. It'll be Tocchet and Stevens, and the Penguins really trying to get their power play going, which has struggled here of late. Murphy at the right side, so Lemieux comes out and helps draw a penalty on this first shift of the afternoon. Around to Mario, left wing corner, and he handles the biscuit. Out to Murphy, center point, turns, shoots and scores! The Penguins take the lead, 1-0. I don't know if it was touching the way in or not, but the Penguins get big dividends early from Mario Lemieux, and they take a 1-0 lead. Now, hallelujah, Hollywood.
Well, that took 11 seconds for Mario Lemieux's impacts we felt immediately on the power play. Larry Murphy took the shot. Lemieux, and you see how people gravitate toward him as Hatcher has to go to him. Murphy alone, center point. It hit a Dallas Star, I believe. I don't think it hit another Penguin, and I think Murphy will get credit. Remember now, the Penguins were 1 for 23 on the power play, and the Dallas Stars are the #1 penalty-killing unit in the National Hockey League.
Larry Murphy, if he does get the goal, it'll be his 14th. Lemieux will get an assist. The Penguins strike early, and they lead 1-0. Here's Lemieux with a short little shovel pass over to Marty McSorley. On the attack of the Dallas end, a slap shot, and he avoids Wakaluk and hit the glass and hops into the seats. And we get a stop in play. Oh, it's going to be Kevin Stevens. It was touched on the way in. I saw talking out there, and then Kevin Stevens, and Stevens was the man that got the stick on it. Number 30 for Kevin Stevens. Murphy and Lemieux will assist.
Stevens' 15th power play goal, and Lemieux gets the assist. We had a power play contestant winner. I didn't get a chance to mention it. Scoring 11 seconds after the penalty. Sandy Corrado of Pittsburgh, PA. You are a power play winner on the American Airlines power play contest.
And a beautiful sharp pass, too, he made to Murphy, and right on the money. Good speed, and Murphy able to get the shot off quickly. Marty McSorley drags it on to center now and drives it down to the Stars' end. Doug Brown of the Penguins out here with Marcus Naslund on the wing for Marty Straka, who plays center ice in this unit. They center it. Manchuk, though, gets the puck. Richard Manchuk, the Stars defenseman, swinging up the right wing boards into the Penguin zone, and offside called. And the Stars working out here with Modano, their leading scorer. He'll work up front at the center ice position. Now he won't. He's going to come off here, and Dallas will make a change as Bob Gainey wants to shuffle some new troops in.
Kevin Stevens went through the goal scoring slump, scoreless in 6 games, 2-11. And of course, he had one against the Islanders, that too a power play goal. Now he has scored 2 goals in his last 2 games, and maybe he's out of that slump. Let's watch it again. Murphy from center point. Let's talk it now. Stevens was between the face-off circles.
Gets the stick on it apparently out of the slot, and just enough of it to poke it over the shoulder of Wakaluk. Here are the Dallas Stars. Shane Churla now banging the puck behind the Penguin net. This is a good rugged line they have out here. McKenzie and Churla working the wings for Brett Gilchrist. Make some things happen offensively with a physical play they have. McKenzie from behind the net, challenged by McSorley. Penguins working up the far wing, and Naslund and the Penguins can't get it out. Jim Pack will try. Back to Marty Straka. Not a real physical line the Penguins match up against Dallas with here. Naslund, Brown, and Straka. Right point, a shot by Gilchrist in the Penguin goal, deflected. Marty McSorley's going to feed it around the boards and out to center by Hatcher. Here comes Straka being held up a little bit, but he goes into the Dallas zone. Stops, breaks on, right point. Straka to the left side to Shell Samuelson, moves in, he fires, and it's off the stick of Wakaluk, the goaltender for the Stars. Now Churla hustles back. Shane Churla snapping, looking. Where's he going to go with it? He'll just pull up at center circle, swing it over to a short little pass to McPhee, and he'll fire it wide of the Penguin net. 1-0 Pittsburgh here in the first period. An early goal by Kevin Stevens, his 30th of the year. And the Stars now regroup. Mark Tenorti. Tenorti, the Stars captain, looking left wing for McPhee. Can't connect on that. Evison working out with McPhee. And also Courtnall, and we'll take a timeout. 16:31 left in the first period. The Penguins lead Dallas.
For Donnelly and Trent Platt.
Here's the play. Grant Leonard now will drive it over to Russ Courtnall on the center ice, and the Stars break up down the left wing into the Penguins. In Shell Samuelson knock a man down, but Norty takes a shot, never got to the net. It hit off Samuelson. Penguins go on the counterattack with their 2-on-3. They look to get it to Yager. Mullen tried to do that. Picked off by Dallas. Stars with Ledyard coming up. They're threatening Toronto in their division for the top spot. Detroit there also, and they've enjoyed a good year, the Dallas Stars. Started off really great at home and then suffered a bit, but as Stan told you at the outset of this broadcast, if you joined us late, they've won their last 4 in a row on the road, and they're 8-2 in the last 10.
Somebody's going to come to the conclusion that Bob Gainey is a very good coach. We talked in the New Jersey game about Larry Robinson, Jacques Lemaire, the Montreal factor, but Gainey a member of 5 Stanley Cup teams.
Neil Broughton looking to the near side for Craig Ludwig, a former Canadian. He'll throw it to the near corner. They center right in front. Here's Broughton shooting and scoring. Neil Broughton ties the game very quickly on a good setup play by his brother Paul. And Broughton set up Neil Broughton, and he drives it by Reagan. We're tied at 1.
Now, Paul Broughton got behind the net, and Mike Ramsey failed to take him out of the play, which enabled him to make the pass out to Neil Broughton. And for Broughton, that'll be his 14th goal of the season. And there's the pass right out there. No body on him. Paul Broughton left alone late on the play, and that enabled Broughton to score, who, by the way, is the second leading American-born scorer behind Joe Mullen.
Now the puck is pushed up into the Dallas end. Ludwig also an assist along with Paul Broughton, and it's a 1-1 tie. Neil Broughton streaking down the right wing against Lemieux. Lemieux trying to close him down. He goes behind the net, turns with a wraparound, and Reagan hugged the post to make the save. Paul Broughton trying to put it back out in front. It comes to Neil Broughton trying to jam it in. He can't do a second crack. He scores. 2-1 Dallas. Neil Broughton on the turnaround play. Shoots it by Kenny Reagan, and the Dallas Stars score 2 very quickly. Sounds similar to the game the other night, doesn't it? Against the Islanders, where they scored a couple of goals twice very quickly, and the Stars cash in. Neil Broughton gets his second. Mario trying to shut him down defensively. He just couldn't stay with him.
Not only does it sound familiar, Mike, in terms of the rapidity which the goals were scored, but also it looks very similar and familiar because on 2 different occasions against the Islanders Thursday night, the Penguins failed to clear the puck in front of their net, and this is another case of them failing to do so, and that results in Broughton 2 goals in less than 30 seconds time. Twice against the Islanders, the Penguins did not clean up their end, and it's cost them dearly.
Paul Broughton assisting on the play, and here are the Stars again with a puck, and a check by Daniels in on one of the Stars, but it'll be Dallas carrying the puck to center, and O'Donnell will relay behind the Penguin net. 2-1 Dallas here in period number 1. Penguins at the opening goal by Kevin Stevens. The Stars striking for a pair 30 seconds exactly apart. And banged now by Dolan to the Penguin net area. Reagan will leave it for Marty McSorley. McSorley on defense with Jimmy Pack. Pass intended for Pack. Stapleton pulls back. Mario, after helping set up the power play goal, comes out, and Stevens, and Tuckett get burned for a couple of quick goals within 30 seconds against the Stars Broughton line. Here comes McSorley shooting. It was deflected. Comes off the near corner. Joey Mullen of Pittsburgh can't get to it, and the Stars will take possession. They beat the Penguins 3-2 at Dallas early in December. Who was in that game had the lead. Watched Trent Platt score a pair of goals to bring them back. Francis ahead for Yager. He's in the Dallas zone. Left side Mullen shooting. It's stopped by Wakaluk. Off the left wing board. Yager overskated. He can't get to it. Mark Zinordi slams it around to the right point. Shell Seamerson to Francis in the spot. The Yager walks around Ledyard. Here he comes with his backhand attempt. And Wakaluk kicked it away with a left pass. In the near corner, it's Ron Francis. He avoided Everson, but Everson now watched the puck behind him, and he gets back up, but he can't clear. Here's Francis to Yager, and he shoots it. Didn't get all the wood he wanted to it, and it went wide of the net. He had it ticketed for the upper right-hand corner, but the shot didn't come off cleanly on his stick. Yager push it over to the left side of the Stars, and Courtnall skates out of danger. Here he comes 1-on-2. 2-1 Dallas, 13-10 to go in the first period. Samuelson's pass cut off, and Shell Samuelson now is going to deal it up into the Dallas zone. They ruled the Stars could have played the puck. And now Darian Hatcher back to take possession of it. Brother Kevin, of course, plays with the Washington Capitals. Gagne being pressured. Match up here, Lemieux, Stevens, and Tocchet against the Broughton line again. Hatcher pushed back into the far corner. Hatcher hit by Rick Tocchet. Lemieux looks for the puck. Can he come up with it? He'll jam it along the boards, trying to work it free. Mario reaches in, but the Stars gain possession of it. It'll be Paul Broughton returning the puck to center to Dave Gagne. Gagne has played center in both wings in his NHL career. Right now on the wing. Gagne turns and shoots it. That'll miss the Penguin target. Now Zinordi cuts in deep. Zinordi throw it right in front. It came off Reagan's stick to the blue line. Right side. Ledyard hurries over to keep it in for the Stars. Put it in the corner, but Larry Murphy there defensively. And out of the center it comes to Kevin Stevens. He'll look right wing to pass too hard for Tocchet off his skate. Deflects it on the center. Gagne with a play, and here is Murphy upending one of the Stars. That was Neil Broughton. Left hand by the Stars, Ledyard, and he will deal it behind the Penguin goal. Reagan watches Ramsey. Steer it ahead. It's intercepted. We gave you the Stars scratches. We'll get to the Penguins when we get a chance here. And here's Naslund right behind the Dallas goal to Marty Straka. Straka throw it back over to Doug Brown. Brown looking. He's going to go to Straka in the slot. The pass was too high off his glove. Penguins center iceman enjoying a big year for the Penguins. 21 goals in his second campaign. Putting pressure on Hatcher, but Hatcher able to redirect it to center. The Penguins get it again. Naslund taking the feed from Brown. Marcus Naslund looking in front of Straka, and it hit the heel of his stick and went all the way to the far corner. Doug Brown of the Penguins gets the puck. He tries to center, but the Stars very cool in their approach to it. Throw it away. And Send it up the center circle. The Penguins stop it there. Penguins have had a good shift here. Straka, Brown, and Naslund against the Dallas Stars. They'll come off. 11:07 to go in the first period. 2-1 Dallas. And the Stars will be called for icing here as they clear it the length of the ice. So we'll take a timeout here in Pittsburgh at the Civic. Back here in front of the net. Here's Francis trying to drive it in, and he can't do it. It's knocked away by Wakaluk. We saw the list of Penguins who are not playing today. Yager again with a puck in front of Mullen, and he can't pull the trigger. Rock Joe over to Ron Francis. Francis behind the net. Takes it all the way to the near corner. Yager looks possessed here this afternoon. Modano knocks him down. And the scoring center iceman for the Stars. And he now brings it up. They've got a 3-on-2. Modano looking right wing. And on the right side, it was Mark Craig, who could not hold himself up at that blue line as Modano hesitated going into the zone, and that hurt because they had a 3-on-2 going in.
Definitely got a break there. We talked about Neil Broughton scoring a couple of goals, and an American-born player in his 14th season in the NHL, and he trails only Joey Mullen among goal-scoring leaders. American-born. That is updated, including the 2 goals today by Neil Broughton. Joe Mullen, of course, is 25 points away from 1,000. And Pat LaFontaine, Phil Housley, both out because of injury, tied for third.
Joey's 25 short of
1,000.
The other night, maybe we can get a sign in here and just kind of tick him down as Joey goes for that 1,000th point. From behind the Penguin goal, here's Shel Samuelson. Moving to the right of his own goaltender, Ken Reagan. Out to center now to Ron Francis. Francis couldn't dump it off to Yager. Samuelson will return it behind the Dallas goal. Wakaluk, quick goaltender, puts it behind his own net to defenseman Darian Hatcher. Left-handed shooting defenseman. His brother Kevin, a right-handed shooter. This is getting hit on the play, and a puck through to the Penguin zone. In the far corner, Dean Evison goes in. Can't hold on to it. Shel Samuelson around. Ludwig has it. Fired to the net. And just seeing that at the last second was Kenny Reagan. He was almost screened totally on that play. Ulf Samuelson. Marine back on the right wing going to Mullen. Back to Ulf Samuelson. A wrist shot. Save made. Rebound. And the Penguins put it in. They can't. Where is it? The puck free to the right of the net. Nobody can find it, including me. On the right left wing corner now in the Dallas zone. Yager comes off the play. Throwing in behind the net. Ludwig got there first for the Stars, but Murphy comes over to knock away his curry pass. Stars in the slot. Chopping away to center to Mike McPhee.
Penguins have really exerted some tremendous pressure on the Dallas Stars, and they've had good scoring opportunities despite the fact they've been outshot 7-6. And now Lemieux, Tocchet, and Stevens back on.
Gagne hurrying back now into the Penguins, and Lemieux intercepts an attempted pass, and the Penguins start back on the counterattack. Stevens in the pens leads the rush back. Down the left wing he goes. In deep. Trying to center for Tocchet. Directed away to the near side. Penalty coming up here, and it's against Dallas, I think. It'll be a penalty against the Dallas Stars. Well, they took one earlier that resulted in a power play goal. And now a tripping minor will be issued with 8:56 left in period number 1. The Stars lead the Penguins 2-1 on the KBL Sports Network.
This is Ron Francis. Watch the Penguins harpoon the Whalers on Thursday, February 17th. Only on Penn Vision. Call your cable company to order.
Arnold Furniture makes shopping for furniture easier than ever with one of the area's best selections of quality brand name furniture. 3 floors of furniture priced to move out quickly. Living rooms, a complete selection of bedrooms, as well as dinette sets and other household accessories. Arnold Furniture is a family-owned and operated business with a long-standing reputation for great values and friendly salesmanship. Make shopping for furniture a pleasant experience. Visit Arnold Furniture, 5th Avenue in Arnold.
11 News. First, with the area's only 24-hour news source. First, to bring you 90 minutes of news weekdays at 5. First, to bring you a Saturday morning newscast. Now, Channel 11 News brings you a new channel, the Pittsburgh Cable News Channel. Tune in anytime for Channel 11 newscasts that fit your schedule. Plus, catch the one and only live local newscast on television at 10. Pittsburgh Cable News Channel. Local news, now.
Neil Broughton with a trip on Lemieux behind the play in the neutral zone, and it's become evident that Bob Gainey wants to match up Neil Broughton against Mario Lemieux because Lemieux was out for both Broughton goals, and now he's out again on Mario's shift and takes the trip.
And this face-off, the Penguins 1 for 1 on the power play to the left of Darcy Wakaluk. Penguins made it look easy, converting the first time that they had it. It took only 11 seconds for them to cash in after Call brought one off. Now brother Neal goes in on a tripping call at 11:04.
Mario will take the face-off. Our power play contestant, Carl Mertens of Pittsburgh.
The #1 penalty killing unit in the NHL, the Dallas Stars. Number 2 on the road in the NHL, too. Lemieux in the left wing corner. Darian Hatcher challenges it, goes to Francis left point. Now back over to the far side to Mario Lemieux. Stevens right in the slot. He has some room. Now they shut him down. Gilchrist took a whack at the stick. Tocchet trying to throw it out, but he can't do it. It comes back to Lemieux. Left point to Francis. Over to Mario Lemieux. And this is where the Penguins have tremendous skill out here right now. Tocchet behind the goal. They've got muscle and skill. And that's a dangerous combination. The Stevens trying to turn his shooting. Flat on the play by Gilchrist. Nothing called. And play goes back into the Penguin zone. Well, Gilchrist just knocked down the big 220-pound winger. He's not too big in size. He just hammered it. Around the left wing boards. Lemieux, double team. They come after him. He goes back to the left point to Francis. Will he go to Mario? No. Down deep to Stevens. Back to Lemieux. Mario looks it over. Wheel and deal. Where's he going to go? In around to Murphy. Murphy trying to poke it in. He can't do it. Walker scrambles to grab the puck and hold on. There again, the brilliance of Lemieux to find the open man and get the puck to him in all kinds of adversity and traffic with the right speed. And he is showing what he can do right now, Mario Lemieux.
He got that pass through at least 6 legs, and Murphy made a wise play in pinching in from the point and had a great chance with Wakaluk down. And you saw the fans applauding the pass. There it is right there. And Murph had Wakaluk down, but he just couldn't settle the puck to lift it over him. So Lemieux's impact, of course, being felt. The Penguins with power play difficulties. 1 for 1 today. This is their second power play opportunity, coming in 14th in the National Hockey League.
And again, you saw Stevens around that goal looking for the loose puck. And I'll tell you what it does. It does make it easier. Despite the fact that Gilchrist flattens Stevens, with Lemieux on the ice, it changes the whole game because they have to sometimes double team Lemieux. And they have to take their eye off Stevens. And Stevens can get himself open in such a hurry. And that quick shot that he can get rid of. And here to the left point, it went by Lemieux and on to center. Penguins recapture it. But it does give Stevens a lot more room to work with. And he'll get hammered and hit on occasion. We've got a play called here on a 2-line pass against the Penguins.
Well, the first power play, of course, the penalty was committed on Kevin Stevens for charging the net. Even on this penalty here, although Broughton tripped it behind the play, Stevens again charged the net, drove to the net, and he will be our first period interview. And he said, look, my game is skating. He said, I've got to skate to create scoring opportunities, not just get my big body in the way. And there's 2 instances of him doing that to help create a power play chance.
I'm not sure if this, I don't think it was a 2-line pass, but in any case, it may have been overruled by somebody, and they had the face-off at center ice. You don't see that too often. The only other thing I can think of is with a legal hand pass on that play. Down the right wing to Stevens. Here he comes on the power play, looking for Tocchet. It's behind him. He goes behind the net. They direct it around to the near corner. Larry Murphy behind the goal now to Mario Lemieux, and Ludwig comes right after him and hits him. Around to the far wing, Tocchet over to Ron Francis. Francis back to Tocchet. He has Lemieux open in the corner. Backdoor pass of beauty. Here's Tocchet. Lemieux shooting on the net. Wakaluk makes a save. Murphy at the right side shoots it in behind to go off a stick. And Lemieux left side to Francis. He banned on it. Worth the puck. Lemieux trying to swing it into the net. It's still loose. He comes up with it, and he'll drive it off the boards and out of danger. But again, the Penguins putting good pressure on the Stars on the power play. Here's Murphy trying to headman it to Lemieux. He asks for the puck, and he can't get it to him. Lemieux along the near boards, unable to get to it. The Stars have it. Mario's a little slow in coming back up. Remember, he's been out for the power play the whole thing. Gagne starting back into the Penguins end and played away by Ulf Samuelsson. Mario finally gets off to the bench. That'll be his toughest thing, just getting that game condition back. That's a good hard shot by Neil Broughton. Reagan had to come off his left pad. Penguins feed it on the right wing. Now Straka's going to work with Yager here at Joey Mullen. Penguins can't get into the Dallas zone. Third away, and Reagan poke it onto center ice. The Penguins finally go after. Nobody wanted it. Straka to Yager. Yager steps up. He is met on the play. Trying to get himself free. Dowling related to center to Mike Madonna with that good speed. Mullen's all over him like a new pair of shoes. With the Costic penalty coming up. Dowling shoots the puck, and that's out of play. So Joey Mullen hauling down the very quick-moving Mike Madonna. You can't give him too much room. And Mullen took the penalty instead of letting him go in alone. And now the Penguins shorthanded.
The Penguins got caught up ice. Marty McSorley charged into the zone. That left Mullen back to get a hold of Madonna. Madonna, who missed 6 games with a knee injury, the leading goal scorer on the Dallas Stars, is hauled down. Joey Mullen in the box. The Penguins will have to kill their first penalty. And the Dallas Stars have not been particularly good on the power play. 16th in the NHL, and they are 7th on the road. Here's something to note. The Stars have given up 13 17 shorthanded goals. So this will give the Penguins an opportunity, perhaps. And our shorthanded contestant is Tom McGivney of Sandusky, Ohio.
Only
Cedar Point.
Sorry, Stan.
It's all right.
Only Tampa Bay has given up more shorthanded goals. They've given up 18 already this year. And it'll be interesting to see whether or not Eddie Johnston employs Lemieux in a penalty-killing role. And I'm not so sure we're going to see that. We'll just have to let Mario, I guess, call the shot. New Jersey at Boston, an afternoon game. The Devils lead 1-0 over the Bruins at Boston. Here, Minnesota leading 2-1. The Penguins shorthanded. Ron Francis and Mike Stapleton, the penalty killers, with Ulf and Shell back. The face-off right in the slot of the Penguin zone. That's where the penalty took place. So big advantage here. They can win the draw, and they do. And Ledyard, though, goes to the right side. He did not shoot the puck to the net. Madonna on the right wing boards. Here's Courtnall and Sonorti working up front. They go to Courtnall, and he'll shoot it. He fanned on it. That was a break for the Penguins. It hit the heel of his stick, and the Penguins cleared away. Russ Courtnall is a player that has always played well against the Penguins. Stars have a couple of them here, and Dave Gagne, too. Scored a lot of goals against Pittsburgh.
Courtnall playing in his 700th NHL game. A lot of years at Montreal, of course.
Jam back around the right side. Courtnall, of course, going to the Stars in exchange for Brian Bellows, and Bellows helped lead the Canadiens to the Stanley Cup last year. Ledyard on the right side to Russ Courtnall. Aren't too many better skaters in the league than Russ Courtnall. Ledyard, right point. Over to Courtnall. He'll move in. And now the whistle sounds. Shell Samuelson, I think, is going to get caught here with his hand in a cookie jar, and the Penguins will be shorthanded by 2 men. Now, I only say this in reference. Here's Gilchrist, the guy that thumped Stevens, if you remember, in the slot. Flattened him on the play. And now the Penguins will be guilty of the penalty. It's going to be, is it Ulf Samuelson who sent it over? Now, Ulfie grabbed one of the Stars. And that was not the play when Gilchrist went down. So I stand corrected. It was on Madonna that Ulf Samuelson roughed him up.
Shell Samuelson looked like, what did I do? Apparently nothing, or at least he didn't get caught.
And Ulfie got the cookie, but they took it back.
The Penguins now will be shorthanded for a minute 15 by 2 men. They've done fairly well, very well, as a matter of fact. They have killed 5 of 6 2-man advantages against. And obviously, this is a critical time in the hockey game, even though it's the first period, because they're already down 2-1. So they've got a 2-man penalty disadvantage, and they will do so for a minute and 15 seconds.
Well, they've lost a couple of good key guys, too, and Ulf Samuelson and Joey Mullen here in a penalty-killing situation. McSorley, Shell Samuelson, and Ron Francis. You remember not long ago, Marty McSorley was absolutely terrific in a situation like this, helping kill penalties
against New Jersey.
Yeah, Russ Courtnall on the near boards now, and the Penguins in. The Stars trying to add to their lead. They're up 2-1. Grant Ledyard, center ice, and the Penguins in a slap shot. Good save by Reagan. The rebound, where is it? Francis trying to work it out, and he does. He gets it up to center. Takes the heat out of a hot kitchen momentarily. 52 to go on the penalty to the Penguins. Joey Mullen. Penguins shorthanded here by 2 men for the next 45 seconds. Madonna on the right wing, dropping back to Neil Broughton. Broughton has already scored. Sets it up for Russ Courtnall. Broughton has 2 this afternoon, looking for the hat trick early. Send it out, and a quick shot right of the net by Ledyard and stopped by Reagan. Ledyard around to the right side. Penguins in a triangle right now, trying to shut down this 2-man advantage. Madonna on the right wing circle. Here in front, they go around to Gilchrist. He can't get him. Madonna pulls back. 20 to go on the Mullen penalty. Penguins still shorthanded. And off the right wing boards, they set it up for Mike Madonna. Madonna center point to Ledyard. Now back to Madonna. Will he shoot it? He got that hard shot going. It's stopped by Reagan. Look out, the rebound in front. And Ron Francis bangs it off the board. He wants off in a hurry here. McSorley trying to hold up one of the Stars and make him offside. Here come the Stars. A penalty to Mullins over. He comes on. So the Penguins shorthanded by 1 man for the next 40 seconds. It'll be a key part of this hockey game. 4:07 to go in the first. Shell Samuelson roughs up fellow countryman Ulf Dahlen. The Stars have it, and they bring it into the Penguins in. A good play by the Stars to stick handle around Mullen. They go to the left center point to Ledyard. Ledyard claims that he was not offside. He kept the puck in. Now he goes over to the bench, and he'll come off, and they'll put a new unit out here.
And here comes Mario over the boards to penalty kill. If that was offside, it was barely offside. Gives the Penguins a big break. I didn't think that he would have used Lemieux as a penalty killer until late in the penalty kill, but with a 2-man disadvantage.
Well, he couldn't get him off.
Yeah.
He couldn't make a change. Ronnie Francis, they were on the entire time. You saw Francis when he came off, Stan. His tongue was on the ice.
I meant even before the 2-man disadvantage, because the Penguins' last power play was relatively close to the penalty. Now he pretty much has to use it.
Paul Campbellini Snaps over to Mark Tenorti, and now the Penguins, Doug Brown and Lemieux killing the remainder of this time. 14 seconds left. The Penguins get a penalty kill here if they can just hold on for the next 7 seconds. Tenorti on the left wing. He'll drive it in. Remember now, Samuelson has to come back into the play from the penalty box. Penalty expires, but he has to come all the way back into the Penguins' end around the right side. Paul Cambolini tried to throw it in behind the net. It was deflected up into the seats, and the Penguins have successfully killed the two-man disadvantage. It was on for a minute 15, and the penalty also to Walt Samuelson.
Well, the Penguins kill off the two-man disadvantage in a critical part of the hockey game. Mario Lemieux taking the last 30 seconds or so of the penalty kill in his first game back.
And Lemieux will stay on the ice right now with Kevin Stevens and Rick Tocchet.
And that means that Neil Broughton is back on the ice, so the strategy here is clear. Although, of course, EJ has the last change if he wants to change that up.
Right from the drop, the puck, an offside play against the Minnesota North Stars. Let's take a timeout. Minnesota 2 and Pittsburgh 1. This is the KBL Sports Network. All right, we keep it here, and the break was not taken. A little confusion down there in that penalty box as to when they're going to take commercial breaks. And they put the red light up and apparently pulled it down in a hurry, and Tocchet, really the timing was not too good. And here's Lemieux off the skates into the near corner of the Stars zone. Ludwig defensively back to take command of it. And he'll relay it up to Dave Gagne. Gagne. Sail it into the right wing corner. These players play with the Minnesota North Stars. Now Gagne is down on the near side. He may have been hit on the play. And now we will take a break. Dave Gagne wanted to make sure we got all our commercial breaks in. Hope he's all right. We'll be back. The Stars 2, the Penguins 1. Yeah, for real this time. This is the KBL Sports Network.
Every time Mercedes-Benz introduces a new car, other car companies rush to follow. And when they introduce a whole class of new cars, others scramble to catch up. Now Mercedes-Benz is introducing the new E-Class, featuring the powerful E420 V8. Other car companies may find this one even harder to follow.
It's a silver time, it's a silver place, it's a silver setting, at a silver pace. Swinging bars, our very best friends, so silver fully smooth, they never ever end. In a silver time, Coors Light, in a silver place, so right here now, silver memory.
Dave Gagne claiming he was hit in the face by a Rick Tocchet high stick, and he's got a case. But no penalty will be called. Gagne, 17 goals this year. He has scored 30 goals or more in 5 consecutive seasons. He may have to hustle a little bit to reach it this year. We covered this. The Stars got him from the New York Rangers in 1987 in the trade that involved Jay Caulfield. Jay Caulfield was in that trade. Now Jay is playing for the Dallas minor league affiliate in Kalamazoo, as is Rob Brown and Glenn Mulvena, former Penguins.
Here's Hatcher after the face-off, delivering the puck behind the Penguin goal. And Mike Ramsey up to Mario Lemieux. Dealing on the center circle. Cambolini's going to take the puck. Tocchet right now is like a bulldozer in a construction yard. He's hitting a lot of people. Cambolini rifle it back to the Penguin net. And offside called against Dallas with 2:26 left in the first period. Well, nice to see our executive producer in the booth with us. George Pryor has stepped in. Now, you know.
No need to get dressed up.
Are we on again on a flight going, or are we off again, or how? Or do we just get in a limo and drive all the way to Philadelphia?
Limo? Who are you used to dealing with? The first Greyhound you see, you better get on. You see that bus, you just better get on it.
My whole dream in life is have a limo that has the KBL logo on it. It's everywhere.
That's next. They'll be selling that in between periods, little red wagon.
Better get North Coast Communications on that right away. That'll be a moving KBL as you go along. Here at center is Rick Tocchet, and he'll pass it up to Stevens. They call back on a 2-line offside pass.
Did you see that little feature we have in the open now? They kind of flow KBL network in there.
And when it's on both KBL and KDK, there'll be a little penguin there. And when it's Penn Vision, there'll be a little penguin in the water there.
It's amazing.
See that? Well, that was the forerunner of the KBL on the ice. They floated it in water, then they froze it. Very easy.
Another dream of mine is to get a suit
Made in that car.
KBL car. Yeah, green. I don't think I'd have any trouble on the streets anymore if I wore that. 2:08 left. And here's Mark Tenorti winding the puck back into the Penguin zone. Back able to steer it on to the KBL Sports Network logo. And it's cut off by the Star. He slip it down the right wing side, and Pack will run into one of the Stars, and Marty McSorley over to get the puck.
In deep.
Now they got to wait here, and Courtnall will throw it in deep as somebody gave him the instruction to do so. Back from behind the goal finds Joe Mullen. 2-1 Dallas here in the first period. 1:39 left, and the puck slipped long into the Penguin zone, and now Pittsburgh's called on an icing play. Now the tempo really has slowed here considerably, Stan, from what we had in the first 10-12 minutes. Had a couple of power play chances, but Dallas seems to have taken the play away a little bit here and slowed the tempo down and just holding on to the lead. They've been a good club on the road. They've been able to win. They're 13-11-1 on the road. Penguins 15-6-6 at home, and they've got a game tomorrow at Philadelphia where the Flyers are having their problems, and the Penguins would go into the Spectrum for the final time on the year to meet Philadelphia.
Dallas is on the road tomorrow afternoon in Buffalo. And we've got the kind of lead and the kind of goaltending that they have with Andy Bogue and or Darcy Wakaluk. You get the lead, you can play that kind of road-style hockey that teams like to play.
Around the right point, shot by the Stars, and that's offline, and Yager will corral it. Yager at center. Look for McSorley. He'll get it to him. Mullen to the Stars in. Right side to Yager. Push it to the net. That's not by Wakaluk. He'll kick it away. Wakaluk was victorious in the 3-2 victory at Dallas early in December. Mullen's the type of guy that can go a whole game and just not be noticed at all. And all of a sudden, bang, he's there and he puts it in. Here's Madonna, though, straight into the Penguin zone. And Pack overtook him. On a line to get the shot off. Mullen defensively trying to slip it out of the zone, and he will to center red. Ludwig. Puck over to Walt Donnan. He can't get it in. McSorley cuts it off. Lead it up to Lemieux, who just stepped on. Mario now on the near side. Back door for Mullen in the slot. He can't get to it. Dallas has possession. They flip it up over the glass and out of action.
Wolf Dahlin leads the North Stars. I knew I'd do it. The Stars in power play points. And they acquired him in a trade for Mike Gardner. Wolf Dahlin has been a very good player for the Stars. But I wonder if they'd like to have that deal back, trading Mike Gardner up to the New York Rangers for Wolf Dahlin. Maybe it's one of those deals that work for both clubs. Gardner only 3 goals away now from Bobby Hull. He's got 607, and Hull has 610.
Lemieux right in front of Stevens. He shoots it off the post as Big Ben struck one. He tried to feather it through, and Kevin just got it up the pipe. Now around the left wing side. Murphy over to the left point. Good play again to hold it in. Behind the net, Lemieux centers for Tocchet, and Ledger got a piece of that. Stevens after him and rammed him hard. He has to readjust his helmet. Dallas clearing to center. And will shoot it in again. 19 seconds to go in the first period. Dallas leading 2-1. Here's Ledger avoiding Lemieux, and it comes on to center now to the Penguin zone. Neil Broughton to Dave Gagne shooting, and it was just off a stick. Broughton trying to get the hat trick. He's around that net. And knocking back. That's Paul Broughton out in front. Here's Gagne with a backhander. What a save by Reagan on Dave Gagne with only 2 seconds left in the period. That may be the save of the game when you look back on this one. Dave Gagne alone with an open net, and Kenny Reagan should get 5 to 10 as he robbed Gagne from point-blank range.
That is the save of the game, and imagine the lift it would give Dallas to score with 2 seconds left in the period. Gagne with the backhander, and Reagan makes the brilliant save, not only saving that shot, but maybe saving the game for the Penguins, and he had to go all the way back the other way, like the save by John Van Beesbrook about a week ago. Almost the same thing with that glove hand right on the doorstep.
Tocchet was giving his best Jack Lambert impression there. Big save. Watch him just hog tie Gagne, and he flattened him after that. 2.4 seconds left. Dallas shaking it collectively, shaking their heads here after the save by Reagan. Broughton in against Francis, and they use Ronnie here to try and win the draw.
2 great opportunities in the last 15 seconds of the period. One by Stevens off the post, and a great save by Reagan on Gagne.
Yeah, and It's the tube and bat there to match it up in the face-off. Puck really doesn't go anywhere. The period ends. Now the Penguins had the opening goal, led by Mario Lemieux on a power play goal, but Neil Broughton counters with 2 in a span of 30 seconds. At the end of 1, the score, Dallas 2 and Pittsburgh 1. And this is the KBL Sports Network.
You can see it on his face. He has run the human race.
You can see when a man has the best shave. He uses Gillette Sensor.
See the spirit, see the pride that comes from deep inside.
He adds Gillette Shaving Gel, the best gel ever, and Gillette Aftershave Skin Conditioner for maximum comfort. Together with Sensor, there's no better shave in the world.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
Ladbroke Racing is America's best racing place. With live harness racing at the Meadows, plus live simulcasts from the country's best thoroughbred and harness tracks, exciting wagering, and great dining. You get first-class racing at the first-class racing place. And with 6 convenient locations open 7 days a week, we're racing to entertain you. Ladbroke Racing. Get up and go.
The faces of discovery are the faces of the world. When you set your sights on the fascination of real-world entertainment, find yourself here. The Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
To discover the real difference between the world's 2 leading soft drinks, we're implementing an anthropological study. Chimp A will be allowed nothing but Coke. Chimp B, nothing but Pepsi. The results are astounding. The chimp that drank Coke showed improvement in motor skills. The chimp that drank Pepsi, however, disappeared.
Hello? It's him.
The third period hasn't been too kind to the Penguins as of late. Today, the first period, finding them behind by a goal to the Dallas Stars, 2-1, although the Penguins broke on top in the scoring. There it goes. That was a roundabout way. The Coors Light Silver Bullet scoreboard shows that Kevin Stevens on a deflection on a shot by Larry Murphy on the power play, 1:31 into the hockey game. Mario Lemieux assisting, and the Penguins led 1-0, but back came the Dallas Stars, scoring 2 goals in exactly 30 seconds, both by Neil Broughton, both with Lemieux's line on the ice, and that gives the Dallas Stars the 2-1 edge.
When we come back, Stan Savran will chat with Penguin left winger Kevin Stevens. So stay on board. Stars outshot the Pens 14-10 and they lead 2-1.
Think of all this as a large block of ice. Think of this as a chip off the old block. Coors Light's aged ice cold. So when you think of ice, think of the silver bullet. The only way to chill.
The RCA Home Theater comes with a new optimum contrast screen. A blacker blacks, brilliant whites, and a picture so clear and bright, you'll feel like you're really there.
See the exciting new RCA Home Theater TVs at Highway Appliance in Dunleavy.
These days, people who really understand money carry the Discover Card. That's because the Discover Card Cashback Bonus Award is just that. Cash. Everyone can use more cash, and there's no annual fee. That's why the Discover Card is the choice of people who really know the drill. It pays to discover the card that pays you back.
Need a washer and dryer? What a week to buy at Sears Brand Central, the #1 store, the top 3 brands, and 7 days to save. You'll find dozens of great values, like this large capacity 2-cycle Kenmore washer for just $245, matching dryer just $195, our lowest prices ever. And they're all backed by the largest service fleet in America. What a deal. What a week. But our washer dryer week ends Saturday. Hurry to Sears Brand Central.
This segment of Penguins Hockey is brought to you by the Mellon Bank. You're why we do our very best.
Our guest this afternoon on our Mellon Bank interview may soon need to avail himself of Mellon Bank services. Kevin Stevens yesterday agreed to a long-term contract extension that should keep you a Pittsburgh Penguin for a very long time. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I was happy. It was something that was in the works for a while, and you know, with Howard and Craig and all the management here in Pittsburgh, they're great people, and I'm lucky I'll be here another 6 years. That's you know, hopefully we can keep our team together and get our guys back here and see what we can do.
Have you ever considered how not only your career but your life would have changed had you accepted or been able to accept that Boston offer and had played for the Bruins?
Yeah, I think about it sometimes. I sit home with my wife and sit there, because she's from Boston also, and we kind of sit. I didn't really. At the time, I really wanted to stay here, but if I had to go to Boston, that was the only place I really wanted to play, and it'd be a lot different. It'd be a little bit. Boston's a bigger city, and that's where I'm from, so it'd be a lot more pressure back there to play. But I'm happy here in Pittsburgh, and to get Mario back and to play with him is an opportunity any player in the world would love to do, and I'm lucky enough to do that right now.
Kevin, you've been a streak goal scorer your entire career. Hopefully you're coming out of one now, a bad streak. Have you ever analyzed what happens during games when you are scoring goals and what doesn't happen when you are not scoring them?
Well, obviously, you know, when I'm scoring goals, I'm going pretty good early in the games, and I can usually tell when it's going to be a good game or a bad game, because my whole game is my size, but my whole game is skating. If I can skate, then usually I get a lot of opportunities to score goals. And the last 2 or 3 weeks, I haven't felt good on the ice, and my legs aren't feeling too good, so it's awful hard to get to areas. And if I can get to areas, I'm going to score goals. And that's my whole game, is to get to a spot or get there before the other guy gets there. And with my size, I can use my strength in front of the net and stuff like that. But lately, I haven't been able to get there, and it's been a problem. And you know, it's not fun. I go through this stupid thing in February. I remind myself every year that you know, it's February again. Don't do it. But it's just something I can't get out of.
Let me draw this analogy, and you were a baseball player in high school. Guys, when they're hitting the ball, say that the thing looks as big as a basketball coming to the plate. Is there any analogy there between what you see on the ice?
Yeah, it's the same thing. You know, sometimes I sit there in December or whatever when things are going well for me, I say, how can a guy score in 7 games? You know, the puck's this big. I was like a robot tire, so how can he go through streaks like that when he's such a great goal scorer? Then I get to February, and people probably say this, how can you score in 7 games? I'm like, you know, that's how it is. When it's going for you, the puck seems to always be there, seems to be right where you want it, and you just tap it in or you shoot it in. And now the puck looks like a little acorn, you know, and you get the thing, it bounces off your stick, you can't ever control the thing, and it's been a struggle, but hopefully I can get out of that. And the good thing about it, we get 30, 34 games left, whatever it is, and you know, we have the playoffs to look forward to, and that's always fun.
You're more aware of this probably than anybody else, but when you're not scoring goals, you have a very low threshold of frustration. I mean, you get upset at yourself, you start thrashing around, taking a penalty. Do you have to remind yourself not to do that, or is just natural instinct takes over?
That's something that's something I wish I didn't have. A lot of guys say I need to have it because sometimes I fall asleep over there and I don't do anything, but I play with a lot of intensity. When I play like that, I guess I play better, but I don't want to take stupid penalties. And when I'm not doing things the way I want to do them, I'm not doing things right the way they're supposed to be done, I get frustrated, I get mad at myself, and sometimes that carries on to the ice, and which isn't a good thing to do, but that's something I've had all the way through my career, and obviously some people don't like it, and I don't like it too, but you know, I got to live with it. That's what got me here, and that's the way I have to play, I guess.
Lastly, Kevin, is there any way to calculate how good this team can be, because there hasn't been this team together, and so therefore it's difficult to understand how good you might be?
Yeah, that's a good point. I I can figure how good we can be, but I really don't know how good we can be right now. It's a team that's got a ton of talent. We're pretty good offense. Well, we're really good offensively, and we got some big defensemen that play great. And with Tommy and Net and the way Kenny's played, we're pretty deep everywhere you go. And the major thing we have to stay away from is injuries. And the major guy we have to need back is number 66. And if he's back, I feel that we're the best team. And to win a Stanley Cup, teams have to go through us to win it. And without him, there's 6 or 7 teams that we could lose. You know, there's 6 or 7 teams that can beat us. But I feel with him, we have a good chance of winning on the Stanley Cup here in Pittsburgh this year.
Well, beginning today, you've got him back, hopefully for the rest of the season through the playoffs. Congratulations on your new contract, and we'll see you in the playoffs and see how things go.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Stan.
Okay, Kevin Stevens has been our guest on the Mellon Bank interview. Mike Lang and I return from the Civic Arena in just a moment.
This is Ron Francis. Watch the Penguins harpoon the Whalers on Thursday, February 17th, only on Penn Vision. Call your cable company to order.
You
can get rather lonely out here on the test track this time of year. Because of all the top-selling import luxury sedans, only one offers a combination of front-wheel drive, anti-lock brakes, and electronic traction control. Standard, the Acura Legend GS, which proves you can still be a leader, even if you can't get anyone to follow. Acura, some things are worth the price. Lease an Acura Legend for $399 a month. See your dealer for details.
Everyone knows penguins can't fly. Don't believe it. Now you can fly with the Penguins. Win a trip for 4 aboard the team plane to an NHL road game in Hartford on March 12th and 13th. Look for an entry form at Giant Eagle. Who said Penguins can't fly? Fill out your entry form at Giant Eagle today. Who knows? You could fly with the Penguins.
Okay. Everybody knows U.S. Air. Not everybody knows Konica. There. Now you do. Why you get on board with U.S. Air? Why U.S. Air is on board with Konica. So if you know this company, you should know this company. Because Konica has earned its wings from U.S. Air.
Well, the chase is on, as you know, as the Penguins seek their 3rd Stanley Cup. You can stay in the hunt throughout the season by reading the Penguins Report. This bi-weekly publication is the best way to get all the information on hockey's most exciting team. It's filled with features, photos, stats, so don't miss another issue. Subscribe to the Penguin Report, the best little paper in hockey. On sale at the Civic Arena gift shop and newsstands in the tri-state area. Speaking of on sale, here's what we have for you tonight. One of the most coveted autographs in all of sports. Tom Barrasso, the Penguins' #1 netminder. Today, the Penguins' authentic memorabilia presents a full-color 8x10 action photo. It's hand-signed by the Penguins' all-star goalie. The price $24.95. Dial either one of these numbers, 391-PENS, 1-800-8-GO-PENS, to get your Tom Barrasso autographed photo. We'll be back at the Civic Arena as the Penguins try to catch up to the Dallas Stars.
In an ongoing research project to determine the ultimate beverage, I'm isolating superstar model Cindy Crawford in a Pepsi deprivation chamber.
I'll do anything for science.
We're allowing Cindy a wide range of beverages, but not a single solitary drop of Pepsi. Not if. You'll be all right. Cindy, how do you feel?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm dying for a Pepsi.
Conclusive scientific proof. Pepsi is the ultimate beverage.
Hey, sports fans, if you want a lot of neat stuff, come on down to A Lot of Neat Stuff. We got more to pick from than you can shake a hockey stick at. Everybody's a Penguin fan, and we got a lot of neat stuff. Not only for Pens fans, but hey, check out our other hockey team displays. We got a lot of neat stuff from toddler to XX, so you can strut your stuff no matter what size you are. Hey, listen up. If you want to buy a lot of neat stuff, come to A Lot of Neat Stuff in Lower Borough or the Rivertown shops in Verona.
Pizza Roma on Route 910 Indianola is the perfect meeting spot to enjoy all your favorite Italian dishes. From traditional Italian fare to delicious new takes on dine-in and take-out lunch and dinner specials. Pizza Roma specializes in buffalo wings, fried shrimp, hoagies and burgers, spaghetti, pizza, and chicken romano. When you get that urge for the great taste of Pizza Roma, you'll get what you want at 2 locations, Fox Chapel Plaza and Route 910 Indianola. Delivery also available.
Pittsburgh Penguin Hockey is brought to you by your all-star Jeep and Eagle dealers, the best in automotive sales, service, and value. By Coors Light, it's aged ice cold for that pure taste of the Rockies. Reach for the silver bullet, the right beer now. By Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires. By Mercedes-Benz, where safety, reliability, and performance are never optional. By Pizza Hut, Pittsburgh's favorite pizza 10 years running. And by your Western Pennsylvania Acura dealers. Acura, some things are worth the price.
The Penguins broke on top in this game on a power play goal scored by Kevin Stevens, but set up by Mario Lemieux. In his customary position along the left wing boards, gets the shot off the center point. Watch Kevin Stevens in the middle. Deflects it in with his stick. Stevens with the goal, his 30th of the year, his 15th on the power play. Murphy and Lemieux getting the assist, but back came the Dallas Stars 3 minutes later. His brother, Paul Broughton, in the corner, out to Neil Broughton. Broughton with the goal past Kenny Regan, his 14th, and 30 seconds later, the combination works again. Broughton, his second goal of the game, and second in 30 seconds. The Penguins again failing to clear their zone when they had opportunities. And that's where we stand now, 2-1. In that first period, Mario Lemieux, 7 minutes and 35 seconds of ice time, 6 shifts, including 2 power play appearances and a brief spell on the penalty killing unit.
Those of you that joined us late, opportunity to show you those goals as they were scored, so be sure and call your friends and tell them, hey, it's an afternoon game today. We just got up. Yep, they're playing this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon at Philadelphia. 1 o'clock start, by the way, in that contest in the Spectrum. And the Penguins moving right to left, steer it up into the Star zone, but they do clear, and Yager recaptures it. Over to Shell Samuelson. England long into the Stars in, near corner. They work it quickly out. Actually a little too hard that time, up over the glass. Now Wolf Samuelson gets involved with one of the Stars with a stick cut. You want to do your disclaimer? We might as well do that right now.
I tell you, anybody who just got up, what is it, 2:30? There must have been a Kren's bachelor party last night.
Could have been.
If you're getting up at 2 p.m., you were out at Jimmy Kren's bachelor party. By the way, plans for the big bout between Jim Kren of WDVE Radio and Marty McSorley are well underway. Now, I have been named to Team Kren. Have you been asked to be in the corner with him?
No, I haven't been asked to do that. I learned a lot of what I know from Marty, so I'll probably have to cheat more towards that side.
We may make you the ring announcer. We haven't decided what we're going to do with you. Tracy
Ready to rumble.
There you go.
There you go. All right for that?
Michael Buffer, that's all right.
You can do the rumble part.
Maybe we got to do play-by-play, or you be the ring announcer.
No, I don't want to do play-by-play. I just want to be there and then, look stylish and then say 2 words. And I do get paid for this, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right in the middle of the ring, the big dollars.
It's KBL sponsoring the thing. What kind of question is that? That was redundancy. Gene Collier and I, by the way, are Kren's second. How about that?
Are you?
Team. Yep. And Rick Tockett, I think, is going to work with McSorley. Tracy Lukey has volunteered to be Kren's trainer. There's an undertaking.
He's going to be Kren's trainer?
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting himself in a hot water because he works the locker room.
Penguin locker room. Yep. What? How about that? Trying to get Jim Kren in shape.
That was a disclaimer, wasn't it?
If Kren dies of a heart attack, that'll be the disclaimer.
That was our disclaimer.
That's right. We'll get there. Not like no one's ever heard it before.
Samuelson's going to bang it in behind the Dallas goal. Martin Norty so well for the Stars, leading them to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Penguins. Blossomed that year and has become their captain. Now right back behind the Dallas net. Here's Yager battling for possession. Centers it, but Tenorti sweeps it away. Out to the center circle, and Shell Samuelson will deal it back in. 2-1 Dallas early in the second period. Penguins' Kenny Reagan made a huge save late in that period on Dave Gagne in period number 1. Russ Courtnall scooting quickly down the left wing into the Penguin zone. Trying to go cross rink. Lemieux got a piece of that. And Holmes Samuelson gets possession. To the right side of Rick Tocchet. Hurries up into the Dallas in his shot. Blocked by Ludwig, who went down. Sent it out for Lemieux between the circles. He can't quite get to it. And Russ Courtnall now on the attack for the Dallas Stars. 3-on-3 to the Penguin line. And McPhee will shoot it in. Now we see a change of lines here as Lemieux's line is out against a different unit. So Eddie Johnston apparently wanting to change that. Let's see if they try and get Broughton's line back out. And Courtnall's going to come off, and I think that will be the case. We're going to watch interestingly here. I don't have a lot of time, Stan, so keep an eye on what Gainey might be trying to do. Lemieux hanging back at center, and it'll be Ramsey. Going to puck intended for Lemieux. Ludwig stepped in. He steals that. Here comes to Broughton. They do have Broughton out here against Lemieux's line. He wristed deep into the Dallas zone. And touched by the Stars. That's Darian Hatcher who touched it. That brings the play back into the Penguin zone on an icy call.
Well, Neil Broughton was already out, and it was Paul Broughton who came over the boards once Courtnall went to the bench, and they want to continue to get that matchup, apparently. Bob Gainey does on Mario Lemieux.
And what Eddie did is he put out Lemieux earlier than what would be anticipated against the line that had Courtnall on it, and now the Stars trying to get back and change their lines. This is where if you have a fourth line too, and both clubs can use that, where you can really kind of confuse things. And then you might even want to put Lemieux out as a double shift, but he's not ready for that yet. There's a lot of things you can do.
Penguins really haven't used the fourth line here today.
No. Well, Broughton behind the cage over in the Penguins. Then it comes around left one, and a shot by Hatcher deflects. Caroms into the near corner. Lemieux of the Penguins trying to get a handle on it, and he'll leave it for Larry Murphy. He can't get it out. Yes, it came off one of the Stars players and into the seats. And we're going to take a break with 17:31. Are we not? Yes, we are. We're going to take a break. I saw the big light go on downstairs, set it up by Terry Schiffauer. 2-1 Dallas in the second.
In my Icy Light beer commercial, I'm shopping for a man. Not at some pickup bar. I go where there's plenty to choose from. The guy I'm looking for, he has to be nuts. He has to be from Pittsburgh, and he has to drink the right beer.
I've checked on the handyman, and I'm a 4.
Icy Light, it's a bird thing.
Icy Ice is here. Super chilled, then ice filtered for a smooth, light taste.
It overpowered the Infiniti J30. It out-torqued the Nissan 300ZX. But more importantly, it eliminated, annihilated, and utterly destroyed the Chrysler stereotype. The Concorde, an eloquent expression of form following function at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Action again as the puck is slammed to the Penguin zone. Albright spinning back over to Neil Broughton. He shoots it and he just missed there. Looking for the hat trick, and Gagne fires it right back, and here is Reagan with that quick glove hand again to make the save. Neil Broughton slams the stick down. He couldn't find the net. And then a return shot by Gagne denied by Reagan. Kenny gets stronger as the game goes along.
Dave Gagne is starting to shake his head and wonder, what did I ever do to you? Dave Gagne had such a great playoff in 1991 all the way through as the Stars got to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Penguins. 2 brilliant scoring opportunities against the Pens. Neil Broughton went to the hat trick, missed wide of the net. The rebound coming out to Gagne. It always amazes me that goaltenders have that sense to know where the puck may end up after it hits back off the boards, and that kind of anticipation helped Reagan make that save as much as anything else.
Stars Paul Broughton now. That's to the Penguin blue line, and he'll shoot it behind the net. Reagan watches it hop over to the left wing corner. He tried to deny that. Now up in the air it goes, and McSorley whacks it with a glove down. That's by a Star player. It's no, of course, in your own end, you can move the puck with your glove, and you'll hand pass there anyway. Broughton up the left wing corner behind the net to brother Paul, and it went right by. View of the Penguin. Leaving the puck for Marty McSorley. What Mario will tell you after this game is coming back and not having played. It is a lot different than skating on your own and playing in a game. There's so much more demanding. Lemieux tried to center. It's intercepted. Here come the Stars. 2-on-1. On the right wing. O'Donnell comes in, makes a little move in front, open net, and a shot by Broughton. That's Paul Broughton makes it 3-1. Paul Broughton on the 2-on-1, cashes in, and a beautiful play by Ulf Dahlen to set it up, and it's 3-1 Dallas.
Ulf Dahlen set himself up as a decoy, and when he got the defenseman and Kenny Regan leaning his way, he passed over to Paul Broughton. Watch Dahlen coming down the right wing towards the off wing, forces the defense to go down. No one is back to take care of Paul Broughton. Paul Broughton, his 8th goal of the year, and the Stars have a 3-1 lead. The difference between those two is when Lemieux was on the ice, the Dallas defenseman stayed right at the blue line.
Mike Craig now giving the puck to Madano. Madano shoots at Ramsey. Got his body in front of him. Madano off the left wing boards, going over to Ludwig, and he pushes that one over the head of Regan. Straka, the Penguins, trying to get it out. He can't do it. Shot by Madano, deflected right in, and Regan's going to glove that, and now Dahlen's on the ice, and now they jump in on Jimmy Pack, too. Hit Dahlen. As the tempers heat up, Jimmy Pack comes up with his gloves off. Well, Dahlen was down, and Pack hit him, and then somebody jumped on top of Jim Pack. Dahlen will rearrange his helmet. Apparently he's going to be all right.
Pack hit Dahlen, and he dumped on top of Kenny Regan, which raised the ire of some of the Penguins protecting their goaltender. There's Dahlen. See, it really wasn't Dahlen's fault. It was Jim Pack who popped him on the back of Ken Regan. I started to mention before that when Lemieux was on the ice just before Dallas scored the goal, the Penguins had the puck deep down in their own end. The Dallas defenseman stayed way back, not wanting to give the Penguins a rush by charging in with Lemieux on the go, whereas the Penguin defenseman got caught in, and that set up the 2-on-1 for Dahlen and Paul Broughton. We've got penalty time issue.
Giving a penalty to Mike Craig of the Dallas Stars. Sportsmanlike conduct to Craig. He jumped in for the battle between Dahlen and Jim Pack.
Craig, who has been scratched for 5 of the last 6 games, draws the 2-minute unsportsmanlike, gives the Penguins a chance to get back in this game. They're 1 for 2 on the power play, and they have to be very careful here because a game like this can get away from them. Our power play contestant, Carla O'Connell of Pittsburgh. Carla, if the Penguins score a power play goal, you get 2 tickets to an upcoming Penguin game.
3-1 Dallas. The Penguins need a goal here to get back into it. Neil Broughton on here with McPhee. With Ludwig and Hatcher back on the blue line, and from the face-off shot, McPhee stopped by Regan. Broughton trying to swing it back to the net. Now Murphy takes control of it. Penguins have lost 3 straight. They're struggling here again this afternoon against the Dallas Stars.
Different look here, too, with Yager on the power play, along with Stevens and Lemieux.
Lemieux off the left wing boards, trying to get to it. He can't come up with it. Ron Francis throw it in behind the net. Going all the way to the right wing corner. B jams it free, and it goes to center. Ronnie Francis with a minute 30 to go on the penalty to Craig. Penguins trail 3-1 here at the Civic Arena. Around Wakaluk, and Wakaluk tried to get it away, and he can't. Murphy at the right point, shoots it back in the corner. Ludwig battling Yager, and it comes around near south. Lemieux turns, centers, and went by Murphy's stick this time. Murphy hurries back, gets the puck, and Yager. Stevens on the left wing to Mario Lemieux. Lemieux finds Francis. Francis moving towards the net. Takes a shot, now lets it go, and it's stopped by Wakaluk. The rebound, where is it? Around the goal. Broughton comes up with it. And he shoots it off the glass into the seats. It was a good play there by Neil Broughton. He found that loose puck with a lot of Penguins around him and just took it and shot it off the glass. And it's out of action, and that allows Broughton and the Stars to make a change here in their penalty killing.
Key to this power play opportunity is you see how much ice space Lemieux creates for other players. Ron Francis came in virtually unchecked because one man had to stay with Lemieux even though he had given up the puck. Francis with a good hard slap shot, now playing the point, the left point of the power play with Lemieux returning.
Ludwig put a good hard shot on Lemieux too, and Mario will get accustomed to that once again. The physical part of the game, he's part of it also, and Ludwig just doing his job, and he took Lemieux out of the action. Mario still made the pass to Francis. Francis wins the draw to Murphy. Lemieux going to the net. He's right there. A shot. Shoots and scores. Mario Lemieux centered by Larry Murphy, and the Penguins make it 3-2. Now Carl Arnold slick from Turtles break. Mario Lemieux.
Arnold's jumping up and down now because how many times have we seen that? Ron Francis, as always, the key man because he won the faceoff, kicked it back to Murphy, and Murphy, instead of gliding to his left at center point like he's had to do without Lemieux in the lineup, you see Francis there. He finds Lemieux unchecked. Big mistake by the Dallas Stars. You cannot let him alone. Give Murphy credit for making the pass from you, but give the Dallas Stars a big minus. You can't leave him alone over there. You've got to take your chances with Larry Murphy at that point. So Mario coming back, his second goal of the game, or second goal of the season rather. We talked about his comeback games averaging 2 points per game. He's there already.
Lemieux with a goal and an assist, and now it's a 3-2 hockey game. Here comes Ulf Samuelsson. Turning the puck on the center to Marcus Naslund. Naslund lost possession of it. Stars flip it on the center red. They hurry back into the Penguins in. Madonna on the right wing. Has a little room now in the slot. Drops it up. Donald shooting. And a stop by Reagan. The rebound. Craig ran right over goaltender Reagan. Will be a penalty on Craig or an interference call. Let's wait and see. Let's see what the call is going to be. Is it going to be against Mike Craig or is it going to be against Ken Reagan? It's going to be a tripping call against the Penguins. They tripped one of the Stars. All right, we'll take a break. Menace, you got me doing it, Stan.
Sorry.
Dallas 3, Penguins 2.
How about them Cowboys?
Every time Mercedes-Benz introduces a new car, other car companies rush to follow. And when they introduce a whole class of new cars, others scramble to catch up. Now Mercedes-Benz is introducing the new E-Class, featuring the powerful E420 V8. Other car companies may find this one even harder to follow.
The Red Men of St. John's take on Eric Mobley and the Pitt Panthers Saturday at 8 right here on KBL. Get in the game. Drop the puck as the Pens take a walk up Broad Street to battle the Flyers Sunday at 1 o'clock only on KBL. Get in the game. Wish you were here. Sportsbeat coming to you live from sunny Florida. Monday, February 28th to Thursday, March 3rd from 7 to 8 only on KBL. Get in the game.